up, roll up, roll up, roll up. Put one in the air. Kill my vibe, don't you dare. Attention ain't even there till you roll up, roll up, roll up, roll up. Off on my yo. Krown360, we back again. Joe Mob.
Crowners, what's good, Crowners? That's what I'm gonna start calling y'all.
Oh, man.
Y'all Crowners, man.
Man, Crowners. What's up with the Crowners?
What's up with the Crowners, man? It's cool, Hunter.
Yeah, what's good, though, Hunter? You doing all right, bro? You doing good?
I'm amazing, man.
Man, we doing life is doing great. You know what I'm saying?
Never doing bad, man.
How was your 420, man? You celebrate that shit?
Nah, I'm not big on holidays, man, and that doesn't exclude 420, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, you ain't show no love when I was in your. I sent you the little message like, hey, yo, what you doing 420? Niggas sent me the message like, man, nigga, I don't celebrate this bullshit, nigga. What the fuck, nigga, life, I live my own holidays. I'm like, damn, bro, calm down, nigga. This ain't.
I mean, but, we love.
Is this a pagan holiday, nigga? I don't think so.
And that's the funny thing about it. It's like the word holiday triggers that it triggers my white supremacy defense. Getting the Floyd shoulder rope.
Right. Niggas be like, devil.
Oh. Fuck all that synthetic weed.
Yeah.
Fuck that K2.
Yeah. You was real motherfucking defensive though. You know what I'm saying? But so you didn't celebrate, I presume.
I mean, I did my usual.
Okay. What
day was 420 on again?
It was on that Saturday. Yeah, because I should have called. I
was working. I ain't make no noise.
I did what I normally do. I ain't making no, you know what I'm saying, no festival or shit. I think that's, but I did see that it was a festival that was in town. I saw a lot of niggas was getting a lot of freebies. I heard they was hooking niggas up when going down there. It was like some cannabis festival. I think it was at one of them stadiums, man. I mean, y'all call and let me know how that festival was, because somebody told me that joint was official.
202-506-6601. Call in.
But I didn't do nothing, you know what I'm saying, nothing spectacular for, you know what I'm saying, but every time, because you know what, if I would remember the actual date that I started smoking, I would celebrate that. That would be my 420. You know what I'm saying? Like I would make, if I knew the exact date, I would make sure I celebrate that every motherfucking year. I remember the first time that I started, I've been blessed with the gift. You know what I'm saying? Right. Yeah. Do you remember your first time that you ever tried?
My first time smoking tree, man.
Yeah.
I remember my first experiences with it. It's a long history.
You don't remember day one? You don't remember the first time. The first time. Call us up and let me know your first time experience. Your first time hitting the tree. Well,
it ain't like the first time hitting pussies. It's two different things you remember. Maybe for me, one trumps the other.
Yeah.
Dang, I'm trying to think. No, I can't remember my first time. I'm trying to think. When was my first time smoking? I know I can't remember.
All right, well, I'm going to tell you mine. Because Mary Jane was my first piece of pussy. You know what I'm saying?
Was good, bro.
Before I even touched any twat, Mary Jane was my first love. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, I'm going to let you know all rip. My homie Rob, back. Shout out to Rob. Rob motherfucker, the nigga called me in the morning. Cause I forgot my bag. I'm tripping. Called me in the morning like we had cell phones back then. I'm tripping. You know I'm 420 and still. But
this house phone days.
Yeah. What the fuck I'm talking about? Anyway, the nigga told me the day before. He hit me on the phone. He said, "Hey, come to the bus stop early tomorrow, like extra early." So I was like, "Nigga, what's up? What for?" He was like, "Nigga, just come extra early." So I'm like, alright, so nigga got up extra early, you know what I'm saying? I never forget, it was a foggy day. It was a foggy motherfucking day. And I'm walking to the bus stop. I'm probably about like 10 houses from the bus stop, but it was so foggy I couldn't see the bus stop, right? But I'm looking and all I can see is a light flicking. Just a light flicking. I see this flame flicking through the smoke. And all of a sudden I get close up to it, and my man, he got this J rolled up. We in the 7th grade. He got this J rolled up. This nigga like, hey nigga, I just got this from the OGs.
Right.
So I was like, oh shit, cause I always knew I was gonna smoke weed. And you know what? I kind of understand when parents be like, rap music be fucking people up, cause I ain't gonna lie. Pac said, 165 is staying hot till I die, my competition 0. That shit was embedded in my brain. Nigga. I was like, oh, I'm going to get high. Yeah, and I'm only going to weigh 165 until I die. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why that shit resonated with me as a kid, but so, you know what I'm saying? The homie pulled out the J, and I'll never forget, cars was pulling up, and I was scared because I didn't want to get caught. Mm-hmm. But I said, fuck it. I hit the J, bro, and I ain't going to lie. I didn't even know I was high. Like, I didn't, like, in the movies when niggas be like, oh, my first time I was fucked up. I didn't know I was high. The only thing I did know is that I felt like my feet was heavy than a motherfucker. I kept tripping up and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, my feet just felt numb, nigga, but. Right. It wasn't until the second time, the next day, that I tried again. Mm-hmm. And I was like, everything in the world was funny, nigga. Everything in the world, the bus was funny. Everything was funny, nigga. Life was funny. And I was like, yeah, this is love right here. Yeah, I was like, this is love right here. And I've been in love ever since.
Right.
We've been inseparable.
See, you know what's funny about like my first weed experiences? You know, shout out to Pops. Like they all come from Pops. Because Pops used to.
How you gonna put Pops on blast, nigga? Shout out to Pops.
No. See, that's you know, I'm the legacy. This is my story just as much as it is yours.
Facts. All right.
You know, you can't blame me of how you raised me. You know what I'm saying?
So Pops put you on to the game.
So Pops, you know, he was a stoner. You know what I'm saying? Like Pops was, you know, had like the man cave was full of like weed and porn. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? So growing up, you know, I had some adventures in the house.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's a crucial combination too. Just I had. Yeah.
But I never forget, right? And I told Pops this too, right? Because it was one time, I think I was in like the 3rd grade. So he was bullshitting, you know, just too comfortable with the man cave, left the door open, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, you know, his doobies laying around, and then it was like the, nigga came across that sack.
Oh, man.
So me being the young entrepreneur I was, I'm like, oh, I got some ways to get some candy now.
Oh, this nigga here. Selling weed to get candy.
Oh, man.
What the hell is wrong with you, nigga?
So I might have been a little bit older. It might have been late in elementary school. I mean, I've been peeped it, but the first time I sold Pops weed, I was probably like maybe 5th, 6th grade. I'm trying to think. You know what I'm saying? Because I sold it to some niggas that wasn't in school with me.
Okay.
But it was funny, right?
Don't shit where you sleep. I got you.
Hey, bullshit.
Yeah.
So it's funny because, you know, like you're innately born with certain traits as individuals. We all are, right? So I was like, you know what? I think I have an angle here. Like, if I sell Pops weed, I can't get in trouble because you're not supposed to have weed around me. So, like, technically, I'm going to just say, I don't know what the fuck happened. I mean, you know, moms ain't going to let you whoop my ass because your weed's missing.
Oh.
So he, like, and I never forget the look my father.
Because you was going to tell. If the nigga pressed you out.
I on myself? Fuck no. What are you talking about? See, this again, ain't no Cody's in this one. It's just the young hunter in this one, right? So it's just me. So Pops come home. You take something out of my room. No, I don't know what you're talking about, man. He look at me. I look at him. He look at me. I look at him. That nigga just walk away. Got him.
Nigga. You lucky he was. You know what? You lucky he wasn't fiending.
Was nothing he could do.
Pops probably wasn't fiending enough. Because if he was fiending and you stole his last J, he probably would have whooped your ass. He probably would have fucked you up.
Probably would have. But you know, we both Geminis too. So from that day forth, mysteriously, when you go into the room now the weed is tucked somewhere.
Yeah, as it should.
Okay, now you on your game. Okay, I got my stash of candy. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's all good. I ain't complaining.
Yeah.
What you gonna say? You know? I never forget the first time I told him that shit. He just looked at me. He was like, I knew your bitch ass took that shit too. You can't call me a bitch ass nigga when I'm with a kid. You know, so it's all good.
Nigga,
man.
my father, man, shit. I wish my father was cool with that shit, nigga. I've been a motherfucking underground slave with this motherfucking weed since day one, nigga. This nigga been trying to whoop my ass.
You never smoked weed with your father before?
Nigga, never. First of all, I wouldn't dare have even thought about that then, and I don't want to ever do it now, my nigga. What? I don't want. You know why? Cause my father been hating on my weed usage for day one. I don't ever want to smoke. I want to keep that beef. Keep keep that same energy. The nigga, because now, you know what I'm saying, now he old, and now he's finally seen the light, because that's one of the veils that's up on the shit, is that marijuana is not a gateway drug to crack. You know what I'm saying? So now he's asking shit about CBD oils and shit like that, and oh, you know, they got, you know, you can eat the joint, you can drink it in the water and shit. And I'm like, man, I don't want to do none of that shit with you, nigga, because I remember from day one you would say I've been an advocate of this shit. Like I've been saying on multiple shows, I deserve some sort of plaque in the mail from some sort of cannabis shop that I've been an advocate for years.
Out, man. We're going to get our own strand. We're going to get that Krown360 in the air soon.
Fact. So, you know what I'm saying? So, nah. I don't ever want to smoke with that nigga. But the thing about it, it's because he ain't never been down with the shit, bro. I don't respect the shit now, because even back in the day when I was a kid, I used to, the niggas that, when I was in high school, because keep in mind, first time I smoked was in the 7th grade. By 8th grade, I was like, I'm trying to do it all the time. So by 9th and 10th, that shit was a way of life. And I used to see niggas that just started smoking in like the 11th or 12th grade, and all of a sudden they used to just start changing. Niggas just smoke weed and think they hard.
But that's true shit, because I remember growing up, like Pops used to smoke weed in the house, you know, routinely, you know what I'm saying, before my people split up. So it was a normal thing for me, even in my friends. Like, you know, you watching TV in the family room, you know, you watching Inspector Gadget and shit, niggas like, hey, James, what's that smell?
Right.
Like, look, man, you know, Pop's doing this thing in the dungeon, man. It is what it is. But you in his house, you can't say shit.
Yeah.
So, you know, like my history, like weed was never something negative to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I got my weed lessons about, or my drug lessons about doing drugs and not doing drugs when Pops was high.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you know,
that's
don't
dope.
smoke. I'm like, cuz you got a joint in your hand.
Yeah, that's dope.
You know what I'm saying?
That's dope.
So but you know, I actually progressed to the point where in my early 20s I smoked with Pops. You know what I'm saying? So
how was that?
Man, it's you know, like I know from my relationship with my parents, based on what we've been through, you know, from my puberty ages, preteen ages through teenage years, once we got to my late teens, early 20s, we were more like brothers and sisters at that point.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, you know, I never forget like me, my stepbrother, my stepmother, my father smoking and shit like, and it was like,
oh, that's a session, nigga. That's a family session.
This one Optimals was out and shit like that.
Man, that's a while ago.
They're like, y'all young niggas want to smoke all that paper. You know, they on joints.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? They on sheets and shit like that.
Facts.
It's amazing how now we've adopted sheets as a consistent thing to smoking. You know what I'm saying? Like, we was geeking like when we was growing up.
I know, it was all about the blunts.
Phillies and all blunts and all of that shit, right?
All because of the look, though. That's the only reason.
And it was a cultural thing.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It was a fad thing and shit like that. But it was funny to be able to bond with your parents as you get older, doing the things that they did, and it's like, well, shit, you grown now, nigga. Let me hit that shit.
Time out. You know one thing I seen today at the gas station that I was like, these young niggas, these young niggas, the weed must really do be stronger now than it was, because back in the day, you know, if you seen a nigga my age or if you saw me outside the store trying to get changed, I was only trying to get changed to buy a blunt, and if I had to change already, I was trying to get you to buy the blunt for me because I was too young to buy the shit, right?
Our generation, it wasn't the bumming more than I need you to get it for me.
Right. But these young niggas these days be outside the gas station trying to bum change to buy marijuana.
Dog.
These niggas trying to get $10 worth of change.
I had a nigga ask me, can I buy him a bag of weed and some roll-ups?
At the gas station?
At the 7-Eleven. Oxon Hill, how y'all feel?
Nigga, are you serious?
Dead serious. I'm like, cuz, like, this shit shocked me.
So basically, he was trying to be your bitch. That's what he was trying to be. He was trying to be your boo.
From a mindset standpoint, it's like, damn, cuz, like, how you gonna ask a grown man to support your habit?
Yeah,
that's how you know, like, we had I've you know been recognizing it for a while, but that was something that was obvious. Like, man, we too far gone on some shit. Like,
yeah.
How the fuck you gonna ask somebody to buy you something for you to partake in?
Yeah.
From you know, from that thing, like, you ain't asking me for food. It's a different thing if you're like, man, cuz you give me a cheeseburger, $1 cheeseburger, something on the dollar meal, something, so you can survive.
Yeah.
You ask me to.
You asked me to provide your vibe. Right. You want me to provide you a vibe, brother? Oh, but that's I got a vibe for you.
That's that trick bag
This my vibe for you.
That's that trick bag.
What's worse, the Hoover or the nigga that rolls pinstripe J's?
Oh man.
Who's worse, the Hoover or the nigga that only rolls like the homie said the other day, 2 tablespoons worth of marijuana?
This is like the Cavs and Golden State, like with Kyrie, like going down to the wire, like shit. I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, Hoover niggas, man, you never respect them.
Nah,
but,
you can't.
I mean, Paper J's are just as bad. And I ain't gonna lie, I've been the Paper J nigga.
Oh, you look like a Paper J type nigga though. I ain't gonna lie. You look like the type of nigga that try to keep a little bit of weed.
No, I don't. I ain't gonna let you do me like that. No, I don't.
But one thing you said before though, because I said,
no, I don't.
I made a statement. I said, right. I don't think no nigga love weed like how I love weed, right? And you said
everybody feel that way, dog.
Everybody feels that way, dog. So why do smokers why are smokers so competitive with their love for marijuana, bro?
Well, I mean, it's like that with everything. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's sex, sports,
it's
money.
not like that with cigarettes. Niggas don't be trying to outsmoke each other with cigarettes. It's like cigarettes have a community of, well, hey, we need to look out for each other. Niggas be bumming cigarettes all the time.
But it's Hoovers with that shit too.
That's true.
You
That's
know
true.
What I'm saying?
That's true.
It's a nigga that always got a pack of Jacks, and there's always a nigga around the nigga with a pack of Jacks that never buys a pack of Jacks.
But don't nobody be at the store trying to figure out who got the best pack of Jacks. No. Nobody trying to figure out.
But nicotine doesn't have that level of pleasure to it.
Yeah. Okay. So you saying the heightened level of pleasure now all of a sudden the competitive nature comes with that.
Right. That's what I said. Sex, sports, status, money.
That's interesting.
Treat. You know what I'm saying? Like nicotine. That's.
Because let me tell you the type of smoker and if you know me, call up and tell these niggas all about me because, nigga, I'm the type of nigga back in the day. If you call me up and say, yo, Joe,
what's up, cuz?
Got a J, try and match what's good. I'm like, nigga, you ain't said nothing. Be there in 10 minutes. Right. Now, really, I'll be there in 20, but I'm telling you 10 minutes so you know I'm on the way, though. You know what I'm saying? So I'm the type of nigga that will roll up 3 J's. Mm-hmm. I would roll up, have 1 J to smoke on the way to the session, 1 J to match you at the session, and 1 J for my car ride back. Mm-hmm. That's how much. That's how much of a connoisseur.
Right.
That I was in this shit, man.
And see, with me, again, I'm not competitive with the tree or with marijuana.
And you shouldn't. I learned later on in life we shouldn't be.
You know what I'm saying? It's like niggas be fighting over who gets the highest and shit like that. It's like, look, cuz, like, I'm not trying to do that,
bro.
I'm not trying to, because then that's how you get too high.
Bro, I've actually broke the seal to too high. I was a part of a 17J cipher in, I would say 2002, I think it was.
Oh man, so the bookmarks and the dates.
Yeah. It was Christmas. It was a Christmas celebration. It was about 7 of us, right. And we all rolled up all the tree we had with 17Js. But niggas was tapping out, but you know me.
Of course.
Not me. I was not tapping out, bro.
Man,
nigga. So, but I after like the 11th J, I wasn't getting high no, like it was it. I couldn't get no higher than that. After that, it was just, it's like my body was like, nah, nigga, you're done. You can't feel no more pleasure. You're done.
And that's how it is with like processing things, I think, mentally with the human body. It's like, no matter how good sex is, like, it gets to a point where you bust that one, and that was like, look, I need a break. I need to let this shit soak in.
Yeah.
No different with like alcohol is different because alcohol is
it won't allow you to take too much.
Yeah, your body's gonna reject it
to
a sense. And with tree it is the same way too though. You know what I'm saying?
Ain't no nigga OD on no weed yet. Yeah.
I ain't gonna say OD. I don't know. Snoop was talking about that shit with the moon rock and the sun rock shit. I seen when he was on the Breakfast Club. He was like they changed the THC count in it. So
what you saying? Now what?
Like when Snoop say he ain't gonna smoke some shit, it lets you know there's new heights and limits to the levels people can go with.
Snoop about 50 years old. That nigga he has even lower limits now. So I wouldn't expect that nigga to have that same energy that he did all his life.
I don't know.
Snoop the same nigga that took breaks, bro. Like real smokers don't take breaks. The only time we take breaks,
competition.
Only time we take breaks is when we on papers, nigga.
See the ego?
That's the only time we on breaks, nigga. Is when we on papers, nigga.
See the ego? That's what I'm saying.
I know,
man.
Right. I'm not. But look, check this out. You know what I want to rap about? I want to rap about growth.
Let's talk about growth. Let's talk about growth, people.
I want to rap about growth because these last couple weeks, the universe has been lining up and been showing a nigga all about growth. It's showing me where I'm at. It's showing me that, you know what I'm saying, that I'm growing. You know what I'm saying? And then along with the growth, the process, I'm reaping benefits and rewards from the growth. But in my appreciation of the rewards, I'm also reflecting on the struggle, on the struggles of finally realizing what growth requires, and also, you know what I'm saying, what it looks like too. You know what I'm saying? Because all my life, you know what I'm saying, I've been having people that's been in my life trying to push me to push myself. You know what I'm saying? And I've been a late bloomer on that, you know what I'm saying? But lately, man, it's been some things that's been happening, bro, that's really just been opening up my eyes. I just wanted to get your idea on growth, because you know, me and you, homie, so I've been noticing that you've been going through growth too. You know what I'm saying? So with that, what growth mean to you, my nigga? Like, as far as how it's affecting your life now.
I mean, it is my life at this point. You know what I'm saying? I think it is the journey in a sense. It's a big part of it. It's a big part of, you know, the things I do, how I understand, my viewpoints, my vision. You know, it is really making sure I stay in the zone where I'm consistently around things that help me grow. That's why I mentioned the term toxicity a couple weeks ago. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that can stunt growth. You know what I'm saying? I know for me. And that's why, like, when I mentioned toxicity, I was talking about from a, you know, a sexual, you know, standpoint with women, and relationship standpoint, friendship standpoint, family standpoint, job standpoint. You really got to understand how things need to be in line with your purpose, your end game in life, and what gets you there.
Real talk.
And how you get there, and the people that help you get there, you know what I'm saying, and vice versa, you know what I'm saying? And that's the great thing about growth. Once you realize that you're in a process, you can more critically look at things. So you can really assess, like, is this helping me become a better man? Right. A better son, a better lover, or a father, or, you know what I'm saying, a better homie, a better brother, you know what I'm saying, a better manager, a better person professionally, a better business person. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you grow, you're going to be critical of yourself, because that's how you measure where you need to grow. I just used the analogy of Westbrook. Right. You know what I'm saying? And how Damian Lillard has showed in the, you know, the NBA playoffs that he's in a growth process right now. He's faced failure for 2 years straight, and it's crazy. Westbrook has too. They were both at the same point with this series. That's why it was so critical. Both of them the last 2 years bounced out the first round.
Right. But one nigga learned.
Now you at a point where life, like I told you, life gonna put you in a standpoint and place and position to where you grow. One of y'all gonna grow more in this situation. One of y'all will fail somewhat, and it could be used to grow in the next situation, which is Westbrook. And you seen who embraced the moment and was more capable in this particular situation with Lillard. So to me, it's a beautiful thing, man. But tell me how it's affected you. You know what I'm saying? Like, in the ways it's affected you.
Well, I think, before I get to that, I think I started being more willing to grow once I understood that growth isn't like a finish line. Like, you don't get to a line and say, okay, bet, now I'm growing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's levels to this shit. So once you get to one level, it's another level. After that level, it's supposed to be limitless. So it's like, it's forever.
It is. Ain't no supposed to be, it is.
Yeah, so it's forever evolving. So once I accepted that, because all my life, because even when I was younger playing basketball, right, I went from a nigga with, I was like, oh, I want to, like, I'm talking about as a kid, I want to play ball. Got out there, was trash, right? Learn how to play ball, making teams. Now, I want to make the best team. So now I'm getting better to make the best team. Finally make it. Fail through that, but I make it. Now I want to play AU ball. Fail to get to that, make it. You know what I'm saying? Analogy. But see, but through the process, I kept thinking that once I get to that next level, I'm good. So once I would get to that next level, I would be chilling. I'm like, whew. Now I could chill. That would be my mindset. And then failure would come just like that, because I was never understanding that. It's no relaxation moment. It's you accepting the rewards and now saying, okay, now I'm gonna level up for the next one. And it's not you saying, oh, I never get a chance to have fun with this shit. It's just that you got to understand how to have fun with this shit. It's not that the fun isn't in the relaxation. The fun is in you suiting up to go to war for the next level.
Now you're talking to the people.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So
you're talking to the people.
When I started to learn that, now all of a sudden things are starting to manifest itself in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, as far as
which is another good word that should be synonymous with growth.
What?
Is manifestation.
Oh yeah, facts.
Because that lets you know that you're at a certain level of growth. But go ahead.
No, but I'm saying, okay, so what I'm saying is, it's just been, we get opportunities that's been presenting itself. And also with growth, before we even get to the opportunities, people, in the process of growth, people have been falling by the wayside. You know what I'm saying? Like, niggas that I grew up with, you know what I'm saying, that I thought we would be friends to the end. You know what I'm saying? In my growth, somewhere down the line, we just separated. You know what I'm saying? The energy wasn't right. The something wasn't the same. You know what I'm saying? And even and not just with the homies, some females just fell by the wayside. Just in the process, you know what I'm saying, certain the people around you change. And a lot of times I think that us as black people, we're afraid of that the most. Not just the change of ourselves, but we don't want the people around us to change without us like being the reasons why.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's why we collectively haven't grown as a people. Because we're not challenging the traditional thought process of, you know, certain people you have to be loyal to regardless.
Regardless of what?
Of growth in this instance that we're talking about. Like, you know, you can't cut off a family member because you're supposed to be more loyal to them than you growing into who you truly need to become or what your destiny might be.
I disagree. I totally disagree. I say sometimes in your personal growth, you might have to be forced to make a decision where you got to cut a family member off.
But that's what's true from a natural law of life standpoint. From a social construct standpoint, we're not taught that.
Oh, nah, yeah, but fuck that. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
And that's my point. We don't look past traditions or constructs to an extent. You know what I'm saying? From a growth standpoint, like, you know, you just mentioned women. You know, and relationship views and philosophies and stuff like that. It's been a conversation with me, you know, that's on a consistent basis when I'm, you know, interacting with women on, you know, on a day to day, you know, whether it's, you know, women I'm romantically involved with or homies with or anywhere in between. Like the concept of polygamy is consistently coming up now, right? So when you talk about growth and relationship philosophy, monogamy has been the standard that we're taught, but we haven't been taught that it's just a philosophy. We've been taught that it's law. Like, you need to get married, you need to do this, you need blah, 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 blah. That's not true. You can build a relationship and really technically, if you really want to go there, connections and the way that people come together aren't based on no title or no construct. It's based on the ways that people connect spiritually, mentally, sexually, emotionally. People aren't looking at it like that.
Right.
Because we're at a limited understanding of how people grow together in a relationship. People aren't looking to grow together, generally speaking, from what we're taught. People are looking to fulfill the, you know, like the construct to get a validation for what they're doing, in a sense. It's like, you know, you're taught to get married and buy a house and have kids and do certain things. But that's generally taught from a sad standpoint to validate prior generations. Versus you.
I see what you're saying, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's tricky. When you use the word growth, it could go in so many different directions.
Yeah, nah, facts. You know what I'm saying? But, well, I mean, it's difficult to grow with somebody, though, when you don't have the tools to, because you got to, in order to grow with somebody, you got to be able to communicate. You got to be able to be attentive. And these are you gotta have a strong attention span, you know. And these are things that our community sometimes suffer with. We motherfuckers
sometimes. And you know, I mentioned relationships. When are we going to evolve from a communication standpoint in relationships with black men and women to where we're not in competition with each other all the time? We're not fighting over who's right and wrong versus really understanding the other perspective, the other side that you're dealing with, so that you can grow together. Like that shit don't get old to everybody, that way you fighting over what's right or wrong to do. Nah. It's crazy to me.
That's the design. That's how they design.
That's how our relationships are designed, to divide us. And not grow.
Right. So with that being said, like I said, women fell by the wayside. You know what I'm saying? In my pursuit of growth, not even knowing that I was pursuing growth, you know what I'm saying? But just because I just know that after a while I get tired of the same old bullshit, you know what I'm saying? So things around me, the people around me started to change. And so when I started to realize, okay, now I'm in full control of me. There's nobody to blame for anything that I'm in. The position I'm in is I'm the cause of it, so I got to be the changer of it, right? Once I started to accept responsibility of that and start leading myself in a different way, right? Now I'm starting to be in positions where now I'm leading other people. You know, I find myself leading other people. Now I find myself with you getting opportunities to teach a class of George Mason. You know what I'm saying? So it's like soon as
how we do that.
Soon, that's what I'm saying. We both got a separate a path to that, but it's like we both got different ways we got there though. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like I got there once I started to be in full leadership of myself, and it seemed like once I started doing that, I become a better leader when I'm around other people. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like other things are starting to line itself up with that. You know what I mean? So then when the brother CT came up to us with the opportunity, you know what I'm saying, off bucks, I ain't gonna lie. When he first came to me, I was like, nigga, nah, I ain't got shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you want me to be talking to these niggas? I ain't got shit. Niggas be like, nigga, you ain't got shit. What the fuck you talking to us about? But then CT hit me with, nigga, why not you? You know what I'm saying? I was like,
I recognize it off bucks. Man.
I was like, oh shit. Then it made me start
Shout
to
out to CT and Divergent Thought.
Yeah, most definitely. But I was like, damn. So I started thinking like, damn, why not me? You know what I'm saying? So how did you feel though when you got presented with the opportunity?
When CT told us that at the end of last year, I'm able to recognize growth differently now, like in the process of growing. Just because I can go back almost 10 years now, you know, where I've had a focused effort on trying to grow with acquiring information. I'm expanding my relationships as far as meeting people I don't know. Krown360 is a great example of that. It was 4 people that started this show that were strangers essentially. Me and you, where our bond and connection is now, wasn't nowhere near what it was then.
Right, facts.
And we went to school together.
Facts. That's
it's
real.
growth. You know what I'm saying? And I recognized that I wasn't scared of the opportunity to face the unforeseen because that's how you grow.
Right.
But I also recognized that when he presented the opportunity, we was doing something right, and no matter how high or drunk we was to do the show, cuz is a doctor.
Yeah.
He's stamped.
Yeah.
That school we went to, George Mason University, that ain't no paperweight shit.
Nah.
It's real. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We was really teaching the class.
Yeah.
And to have that opportunity be presented to me, that's again, I recognize like, I'm headed in the right direction. The trajectory is going in somewhere where I can be like, I'm ascending. Like I'm headed up. And it's like, it was one thing to be presented with it. And then the months went by and we got closer to it.
Right.
And then one day it's pop up like, damn, you about to go teach a class.
Yeah, cause
so it's like, what do I wear? Like, go ahead, my bad.
I want to say that because the CT texted me the day before because he had emailed me the wrong date. So I'm thinking it's on a Friday, whole time it's on a Tuesday. So he'd get up with me on Monday to confirm. So I'm like, oh shit, this tomorrow? I'm like, all right, bet. So he was like, yeah, man, the class is probably a little different than what you probably would expect. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot smaller and it's, you know what I'm saying? It's more diversity in it. So I was like, all right. So I'm thinking, but in my head, I'm like, oh man, do I really want to do this shit? Because I'm still having these little insecure moments and shit, you know what I'm saying? But I had something in my mind kept telling me, bro, just go do it. This is part of your growth. Just do it. You know what I'm saying? So we get there to the school, you know what I'm saying? And shout out to the school because it was very beautiful. I ain't gonna lie.
A beautiful campus.
They don't even know. I was one of the people that was delivering drywall back in the day to that joint when that campus was not even had half as much that campus have now. So I saw it when it was really under construction. But now that shit look very beautiful. So shout out to them. But we get up into the building around game time. And we walking in there, and I hear the kids, and I call them, damn, I'm an O in there. I'm calling them kids. These college students.
We call them college students kids. We old, man. It's beautiful. It's growth.
Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? The kids saying shit like, are you guys the speakers? Are you guys the speakers? So I ain't saying that, you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to keep my game face on. I'm like, I ain't gonna let the motherfucker break me right now. So we get in the joint, and it's an intimate class. It's probably like, what, 15 in there?
I think it was 17 students. One had to leave because she had a health emergency with her
Mom,
mother.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Hope everything all right with your mom, too, yeah. But yeah, it's about 17 students in there, and we got into the class, and we got the introduction from CT, and then boom, it was on, and we was in the zone. I think, and they connected with us in a way where it was genuine, and I felt like it was genuine because they felt that we were genuine. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I started off and I told them about my insecurities about talking to them before. You know what I'm saying? Then my realization that I was the man for the job. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you was stellar on that joint, bro. Shout out to you because
I appreciate it, man.
everything you was like Barry Bonds. Everything you was knocking shit out the park. I had to look at you a couple times and say, this nigga,
Yeah.
who the fuck is this nigga?
Don't get the twisted on the fucked up now. Yeah.
So let me ask you, how did you feel? Was you did you have any doubt? Did you have any self-doubt?
Nah,
any nerves? You have any nerves?
I didn't. I think I'm a lot more at a place and point where I embrace things from a standpoint of, you know, living in the moment and not being anxious and kind of being more eager. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So instead of being like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, or I don't know how I'm gonna act in this uncomfortable situation. Now it's like, nah, I can't wait to get into it.
Right.
Because I know regardless of what happens, I'm gonna grow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But I want to add to that because a part of my growth is with fear, right? I have a different relationship with fear. Like when niggas say fear, people assume somebody is afraid of another human being. It's niggas like me. I ain't afraid of no human being. But sometimes self-doubt comes in, and I feel like that's synonymous with fear. You know what I'm saying? So, but now what I do is now if I have any type of fear, whatever, I feel like that's a good thing because it lets me know that it's a challenge here to
Your instincts in tune.
Yeah. Now I'm like, okay, it's a challenge here to conquer. You know what I'm saying? Instead of me, I used to detest that about me so much that I would make it bigger than what it was. You know what I'm saying? Because if I would feel that shit, I'm like, oh, I shouldn't be feeling like that. And all of a sudden now, the weight of the world is on my back. But now I get that feeling like, oh man, nigga, it's about to go down. And I'm like, that's life. That's good. Now that means now when I prove that little voice wrong later on, we both could be laughing about this shit. You know what I'm saying?
But that's the test from the universe in a sense. Like, you know, that's life speaking through you in a sense.
Yeah, facts.
Through your intuition. You know what I'm saying? Like
Facts.
People ask, pray, work towards being in situations that lead them to where they want to be. Get in those situations and then clam up.
Yeah.
Or don't recognize when they're in the situation that they want to be in.
Yeah.
And it's like now I'm just appreciative of being able to have the understanding to recognize when it's time to shine, when it's time to push the limit, when it's time to be or really respond in an uncomfortable space. And I think as I've continued to work towards my goal and my end game, I've continuously been put in those uncomfortable spaces. Yeah. And it's like the more I embrace it, the more opportunities come. You know what I'm saying? Like just like the teaching opportunity. Yeah. You can't pay for that shit.
Yeah.
We don't have doctorates.
No, nigga. I barely graduated school. You know what I'm saying?
In the PG Community College.
Me too.
Alma mater. You know what I'm saying?
Dropped out of that one too. Yeah.
It took me 4 years to get a 2-year degree. Yeah. But see, again, you know, I've self-educated myself over the past 10 years to the point where the curriculum from a college, they don't want no smoke because I'm teaching classes. Yeah. And we building now we about to be teaching more classes.
Yeah. Let me ask you, how did it, so the experience itself, did the exposure in CT's word, did the exposure
is a beautiful word.
Yeah, did it help, how did it help your growth, the whole thing after it was over? Like, how did it change you?
It let me know what's an option. For one, what's the option and what I'm capable of doing? Like, you couldn't tell me that I could be at a level of being a college professor without studying to be a professor.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, whatever, you know, you're generally taught to do from a traditional standpoint, you have to go through a certain process to get there. The process we got to teach in a college class wasn't traditional.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? In any shape, way, form, or fashion, but it shows you how life is evolving. But then on another scale inside, it showed me too, interacting with those young adults, those 18, 19, 20-year-olds, it showed me the growth and where we are as a people. because we're sitting in the majority of the class was, white people.
Yeah.
It was with some different, ethnicities in there and dynamics in there from females to males, different nationalities on a smaller scale because we're talking about 16, 17 people. But I know from a growth standpoint, hearing younger white people be apologetic about systemic oppression, mass incarceration, different things that come from under the umbrella of white supremacy, and them expressing real empathy, but then also expressing that they don't know any solutions to change it.
Right.
It was like, damn, it's like it shows the opportunity to grow for us as a country.
Right.
And I'm using us as a country. I don't normally speak from a patriotic standpoint because I'm not.
Nah, I feel you.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
But to hear that, it's like, damn, it makes you look at people that's, from a different hue or a different color than you totally differently.
Yeah, man.
Generally, we have so much disdain and hate and so many different emotions, towards, I don't think it's just white people, but it's the system that white people thrive under.
Yeah. And it makes us label who we think is connected to that system.
Exactly. And I think our people don't understand that the systemic oppression and white supremacy has done white people wrong too.
yeah. But white people don't really notice that.
They
either.
don't.
You know
They're too privileged because of the system.
Yeah.
And it's like to hear young adults, like young white adults, speak about being privileged and being able to be in a position like, look, I want to barter that for the better or the betterment of humanity. That shit was powerful.
Bro,
that shit was life changing.
Bro, let me tell you how that shit changed my life. So, because I remember when it was over, we sat in the class and we spoke. Like me and you at CT, we spoke about 10 minutes, and we was mind blown, me and you, right? But later on that night, right, and I ain't even gotta get to later on that night. Midway in that thing, I think for a good 10, 15 minutes, I don't even think I said shit. I think for a 10, 15 minute spell, I got quiet. And the reason why I got quiet wasn't because, I didn't know what to say or I was afraid. My mind was literally, I felt my mind shifting. I felt all of the naive shit that I might have thought, or I felt all of the misconceived notions that I had about things. I saw it all started to become pointless. And then, and I'm sitting there like, damn, here I am.
Good point.
Here I am sitting in this joint right now. What's good, bro? I'm in this joint right now listening. I'm heading this class with the homie. I'm talking to a predominantly white class, white college students, talking about leadership in America, talking about these tough issues, and they're way past the time they're supposed to stay, and they're attentive, asking questions and listening, and I'm sitting there realizing that in this room, I didn't feel any negative energy.
At all. I didn't feel any hate, any discrimination, any judgment.
Nah, I didn't. It
was crazy, huh?
Hunter, I didn't feel any disingenuous. I didn't feel like anybody was faking.
At all.
When it was over, but even before it was over, one of the sisters asked. She said exactly what you just said. She said, I just want to know. She said, I know this is not an answer that anybody can, a question that anybody can answer right now. But she was like, I just want to know, what can I do to help? You know what I'm saying? What can I help to struggle? And I was like, when you see that, first of all, you don't get a forum in life to be able to have these type of conversations with people in the first place. You know what I'm saying?
First and foremost of all.
You don't. You know what I'm saying? So we was afforded the forum to have this type of conversation. So we was on a fair playing field. But to see how people really felt, it made me say, you know what? I'm gonna start being way more inclusive with things, with my message, with how I feel about life, because we've been so forced to believe things that have really no merit, no weight. It's been forced into our mind. So now we have a certain type of confidence, a certain type of arrogance in thinking divisively. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, it made me now think about all the shit that I've said that I was maybe just saying just out of just emotion, or not even emotion, just off of not having the exposure.
The arrogance of divisiveness.
Yeah, that too. Or not having this exposure. And then that also showed me that those college students didn't have the exposure that I had too. So, and it made me realize that having a conversation bridged the gap between what we both were exposed to. You know what I'm saying? Having the forum of being able to speak to each other and without having to be afraid about who's going to say what. You know what I'm saying? We talking vulnerably to each other. And I was like, that we gonna do two opposite sides of the spectrum, but we are all talking inclusive, and we were all getting places in this conversation because of we weren't talking divisive, though. Nobody was name calling, nobody was saying, well, I believe this, and everybody was listening to each other, and so it moved me to say, you know what I'm saying, I can't have the energy of all white people are this way or all these people are this way, because no matter how much I say I don't believe that, and I sometimes I hear myself and I don't sound like I do. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I gotta be more responsive. So that whole process, it challenged me to be more responsible with the things that I say out of my mouth, because not only am I a leader of myself now, I'm a leader of others. You know what I'm saying? And people, and I always knew that people looked up to me. But now I feel the responsibility of it. Now,
and how many people can potentially look up to you in your viewpoint and your perspective?
Whoo, yeah. And not just the potential, how many people want to. It's people that want to look up to you. And sometimes we say things and we be like, we not understand that. We be deflating people. We be taking the air out of people. People be wanting to put the exalt us. Oh man, you the shit. And then we'll say something that just take all the wind out of them. You know what I'm saying? But
that's why I said I seen some growth in you. Just that was obvious.
Yeah.
And I know it's been on the same on the other end of the spectrum. Like in that particular class, when it was a young lady, young white lady, I think she was 18 years old, wants to be a federal prosecutor.
Yeah.
And she shared the sentiment that in order for her to be capable of being able to stand on the side of any type of justice as a white woman in the country that we live in, to where she's going to be judging black men, black women, young black women, and their unique circumstances, for her to say that she needs to have a certain type of exposure to the people that she's going to be holding accountable before she even at a point where she's taking a bar test, becoming a lawyer, for her to express the desire
to want to
know about the people that she's going to be in a position to hold accountable to the laws that govern the land, in a sense. I've never heard that sentiment ever.
Right.
I've never heard that.
Mind blown. She blew niggas' minds that day.
When she said that shit, I'm like, wow. Like you would think that from what we see and perceive from a media standpoint, newspapers, social media, you wouldn't think that there are young white women that are growing to help black people.
Right.
Through the justice system that we know is corrupt, that we know isn't in our best interest. And it's like, how do we protect a woman from her, from where she's coming from? How do we make sure that from 18 to 21 to 25 to 30, to the point where she gets that federal prosecutor job, she doesn't become jaded or swayed into the point to where her standpoint of justice changed to where I'm gonna give him 80 years, 100 years, without being empathetic.
But you know what? That's what I thought about when she was talking too, because I saw her youth like a motherfucker, and I was like, I was I didn't want to be pessimistic, but I thought to myself, I hope that she keep same type of that empathy when she 10 years from now. You know what I'm saying?
And we know we live under a system
that will present her to try to take it out of her,
suck that out of you.
Yeah.
And then pump something totally different into you.
But you know what that showed me though? Like, cause before I could let myself go down that rabbit hole of what she probably encountered in 10 years, I had to say, whoa, wait, Joe. The fact that you're seeing now that the problem isn't all Nothing. The problem is a lot of the old ways are not trying to die. The old ways are trying to live on, but the youth,
we talking.
The youth, you know what I'm saying, are actually fresh fruit, and these motherfuckers are not trying to get poisoned. They're not trying to get tainted. You know what I'm saying? But life, it does this thing where the powers that be are trying to poison the fruit. But it made me say, you know, that's what made me say, okay, nah, I'm gonna be more responsible, because it's not an all thing. The old motherfuckers are the problem. These young motherfuckers is not the problem. These young motherfuckers, they need us to bridge the gap. They need us to not speak ill on things that they are going through because of the world that's presented to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, people choose lifestyles, people choose religion, people choose things that all kind of shit that I might not be privy to, I might not be wanting to be a part of. But the thing about it is, because of my overstanding of the system, overstanding of the thing, the knowledge, the wisdom that they take from us, it's not for me to have all of that, to weaponize that, to degrade people or to make people feel low. It's for me to know what I know and to make what I know become fruit for other people to grow and to bear their own. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. It's actually like almost being a part of nature to an extent to where you help growth.
Yeah.
And it's like, to see the level of openness for growth, it helps it in a sense. Yeah. It's like, damn, you're not divisive. You're not cutting the line off on colorism or religion or sexual orientation or things of that nature. You're identifying with people that have an open mindset to work collectively.
Yeah.
And I think for our people, we struggle because we think that the fight for, black empowerment and economics and continuity, all these different things, are just based on color. There are people that want to help you that have a different skin color or a different hue.
Yeah.
And there are also people that are going to be against what you're trying to build towards and grow.
That look just like
you. That might be in your family, might be in your household, might be in your community. So our standards, like I've been telling people, everything has to be challenged. Like, when people ask me different things about who I am, as my views on, I often get it when it comes to women or relationships and sex and shit like that. I am non-traditional in every standpoint, simply because I recognize new traditions need to be established, and cultivated, and like built and grown. I'm not going to do what somebody taught me, based on what they knew. If it applies, we use it. If it doesn't, you leave it where it's at. And I think we're at an evolved state and point of life where we seen with the class that we have to get ahead in thought. Because we have to create a system, of life where we have these young adults, these late teens, early 20s, where we develop these people into being forward-thinking people. And we don't have that system right now. Right now, we're trying to force feed old ways down new provocative thoughts, and it's a conflict now. That's why it's not working. That's why things just aren't working.
Nah, you're right, my nigga. You're right. But another thing about growth that's been happening as far as like in my life, and it's crazy because I think with when I'm starting to actually gauge the level of responsibility that comes with the growth, the process of growing, the process of leadership and all that. A nigga find out, nigga about to be a daddy.
Hey, we having a Krown baby.
Yeah, nigga about to be a daddy. Yeah.
Hey, man, y'all congratulate Joe, man.
Yeah.
My brother.
Shout out to the nigga Roddy in the back. Yeah. So, nigga about to have a little one.
Congratulations, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so a bunch of feelings, nigga. A bunch of feelings. You got, I'm happy, I'm proud, I'm nervous, I'm scared, you know what I'm saying? I'm motherfucking anxious. You know what I'm saying? All these motherfucking thoughts come in your mind, bro. And it's crazy because but throughout all that, I know I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? Through all that, I know I'm ready. And I know now that that's the growth within me, because I think if it would have happened a few years ago, you know what I'm saying, I think a nigga would have been on some real, I don't know what I'm gonna do now, you know what I'm saying? But now, a nigga, I'm on a level now where I'm ready. But one thing it's funny to me that I'm noticing in this new fatherhood, this pre-fatherhood role that I'm embarking on, right, is I'm noticing, you know what I'm saying, that every woman that has found out in my life or around my life that is telling me, you know what I'm saying? Oh, you really got to do this now. You got to look out for it now. Oh, you really got to do this now. You got to do that now. Oh my gosh, she needs you to do this. And nobody is telling my future wife to be. There's nobody telling her about how to make my life a little bit easier because she's not going through this process alone. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So what I'm saying is, I'm not expecting any type of lookout or any type of easier easier path for like her to make it for me.
But you noticing some things.
But I'm noticing that women are acting like she having this baby on her own. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even think women even understand what they doing. You know what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of them this is just how they perceive this thing to be. Like, oh, she pregnant, she doing this on her own, this her body, and this and that. And I'm like,
right, let's stay here.
But see, a lot of women are used to the process of them actually being alone, of them actually being the one doing the shit alone. So they not they don't know how to include the man in the conversation sometimes. Sometimes women can be so motherfucking exclusive. Like, oh, no, he don't understand this. He don't understand that. But I want to say right now, I finally understand now that it's shit that women don't understand about what the good guys go through that actually are being fathers to their kid. But through this pregnancy process, they got to deal with a lot of shit. And niggas don't have the form to be able to talk about this shit. You know what I'm saying? But
especially to help them through the process.
Dog. Because when I was growing up, I used to hear shit all the time about, oh man, this nigga, he cheated on this girl while she was pregnant. Oh man, that nigga left that nigga left that girl while she was pregnant. That's fucked up.
Where's the understanding?
I used to hear that shit all the time. And I used to give no understanding though, huh? I'd be like, oh, that's fucked up. Them women doing that on their own. Nah, bruh. I get it now. There's so much shit that come with it that if that nigga ain't got nobody to talk to about this shit, I can see how a lesser nigga can cave in. I can see how, because it's a different ball game, man. It's a different ball game. The emotions change within the woman. You know what I'm saying? It fluctuates up and down and shit. You know what I'm saying? The body changing don't just affect the woman. This shit affect the man too. You know what I'm saying? But the good nigga can't say, oh, I just not feeling it today, baby.
And that speaks towards, like the connection between, the black man and woman and the divisiveness that's been kind of injected into our households and communities. Yeah. We're not strong when we disconnected. So it makes sense why even a process that's so natural as, child creation, and that period, those 9 months, we should have a structure where we growing together instantly.
Right.
Especially if we're going through this process. Excuse me. I made a post on Facebook today. Like, it was this super wild nigga, man. I can't even think of his name, man. I would call you out, but I just can't think of your name right now.
Dang, you like call a nigga out.
Because he was because like I was saying, like, we have to get to a point where, like, if you're just on some man shit, what I'm saying, some real man time shit, if you're not taking care of your kids, you got to get cut off. Like, you can't have no homies. You shouldn't have no support system, no friends, no resources, none of that shit.
I feel you.
It should almost be like a brand that's put on you.
Yeah, facts. Yeah.
To where this nigga ain't shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you created a life and you're not willing to take care of it.
Yeah.
And this one dude was, like, talking about all this shit other than his responsibility for taking care of his kid. And it's interesting that you bringing up what you're bringing up because, men get pushed to a certain point. I'm not going to speak on the validity of it, but from a lack of understanding, get pushed to a point where thinking that not taking care of your kid or that woman is an option. And that shit ain't square.
I feel you.
It's not. It just don't make sense.
I feel you. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like for you to recognize that from a support system, certain reinforcement isn't there. It can't be internalized. And I know you're not internalizing it that way.
Nah.
It can't be internalized to where you gain some resentment emotionally.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To where it affects how you commit to what you've created.
Right.
And we have to have that type of pecking order. Like, look, I don't give a fuck where you at with that woman.
Yeah.
You gotta raise that kid.
But let's keep it real, my nigga. Niggas don't have conversations like that. Niggas don't even be able to.
That's part of it.
Niggas don't even be having the forum or the crew or homies that will say, hey man, you can talk to me about anything.
But that's my point. So it's like, but how do you develop the crew of homies when you got certain niggas in the clique that have kids and taking care of them, and you got certain niggas in the clique that has kids that ain't?
Yeah.
You got to kick the niggas that ain't taking care of their kids out.
Yeah.
So the ones that's struggling with raising their kids can learn from the ones that's having success.
Yeah. Nah, I feel you.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel you, because we went to our first little OBGYN appointment the other day. Man, I'm in the waiting room. I'm the only nigga in the waiting room. I see it's like 3 or 4 women in that joint, include my fiance. Mm-hmm. I'm the only nigga in the joint. And I'm sitting here like, damn, dog, like I'm seeing just how much women be going through this shit alone. But then I'm thinking to myself like, damn, so this is the thing that I hate, right? This thing that I hate, that we acknowledge so quickly. We acknowledge the niggas that's not there. We acknowledge the niggas that's doing dirt so easily. We champion them niggas with our attention. You know what I'm saying? But then the nigga that be there, you have the attitude like, oh, I ain't gotta give him no recognition. He doing what the fuck he supposed to do. That's not. I don't like that, bro. Because even though in theory, nigga is doing what he's supposed to do, we living in a world where niggas don't do what they supposed to do. And I
think for us to be stand-up men and stronger individuals is something that we have to somewhat wear as a badge of honor. Like, look, I'm going to take that because of what these other niggas is bullshitting and doing.
I like that, Hunter.
I'm going to take that.
I like that.
I'm going to take that. You criticize me for the efforts of other men, mm-hmm. but I'm going to also make my stance on holding them niggas accountable to their bullshit, and the woman that kind of coddle that behavior in a sense, and, mm-hmm. and invest in that Bama bullshit. And I'm gonna also invest time in to setting a new standard. It's cool, be critical of, of me because of the efforts of other men, even though I'm gonna be there for my kid. Mm-hmm. But I'm gonna sit here and stand with other stand-up dudes, and we gonna build.
Right.
And you women better get behind our motherfucking ass.
And that's all I'm saying.
That's simple.
That's no, hold up. But time out.
Don't be critical. Don't be more critical.
Yeah.
Of the bullshit and want to stay in that zone.
Yeah.
And then when the man is putting the pressure on his back and dealing with the situation, you can't find a way to exalt him or to compliment him and shit like that. We ain't doing that.
That's all I'm saying. I'm saying that we need
it. Shit straight.
The nigga don't need no money. He don't need no extra pussy and none of that shit. Nigga just needs some acknowledgement. A nigga, a good nigga just needs some
extra pussy though.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't mean to say that. Hey, can you edit that part out, Rodney?
I heard you laughing,
Can you edit that part out? Because a nigga might deserve some extra pussy on the side. But we gonna use that for next week's topic, y'all. Nigga might need some extra pussy on the side. That's the next week's topic. But on that note,
give me some extra head.
Yeah. Some fellationics. But what's up with you? Everything good? Cause we run out of time, man. What's your ending words you want to give to people, bro?
We talking about growth, so I mentioned toxicity earlier. Be able to recognize the toxicity in your proximity. The shit is
school
serious.
Words in the building. Say it one more time.
Be able to recognize the toxicity in your proximity. Don't get it twisted, man. Don't get it twisted, man. Everybody ain't supposed to see you win or be a part of you winning or be a part of your cheerleading process in a sense, man. As the saying goes, you got to watch the ones that's close to you. So be critical of the circle you keep and the people that you have around you that are going to be a part of your future success. Because they could be a part of your future demise, man. You got to watch that shit.
My nigga, yeah, great word, Hunter. On that note, I want to let y'all know I need the pull-out king is no more. The pull-out king is resting in peace. He has left his jersey has went up in the rafters. So just look at number 15, pull-out king. He went a long time, dog. Show love to the pull-out king, everybody. On that note, easy.
We gone, baby.